Hello everybody and welcome to Wesley's Plant World with me, Wesley Peterson, and we are standing in a new area of my garden here that has just been excavated, an area that I call Saunaland. And this area got the name Saunaland because, well, my husband would really love to have a freestanding sauna in our garden one day, and we thought this area, because it's quite open and it will be enclosed in a bushwork of Thuya occidentalis all the way round and covered by a canopy of trees, a lovely cozy area, it would be the perfect spot. But well, I know in reality this is not going to happen for years, if at all. So until then, I am going to take the opportunity to make myself another border. Yes, of course, there are so many areas in my garden where I can create more borders, and I just love doing that. And I've decided I want to keep this part of my garden as my Hosta collection sanctuary, as well as other things, but mostly my Hosta collection, because how beautiful would it be to be able to sit here with a seating area, look up at the slope here with an expanse of my Hosta collection, and then our crystal cottage behind us there. Oh, it's just absolutely fantastic. So I am going to be creating this into a wonderful garden with a lovely border until the day we maybe get a freestanding sauna. And if we do that, we'll still have space because there's quite an expanse here to put a freestanding sauna. I just don't want to wait until then and just leave this doing nothing. I have to make a nice border here anyway. So let me take you in for a closer look so you can see what I've done to excavate this area up to this point, so you can understand the whole process. And then I will make another video later on where you will see me placing out my hostas and this area all greened out and so forth to see the contrast. Let's go. So here we go. We'll walk through the bonfire garden here and carry on towards where we have Saunaland. And as I said, I have Cozy Cove just beside over here, in between these Thuya occidentalis Brabant bushes. That is going to be my fern collection. And then in Saunaland on this side, which will be surrounded by Thuya occidentalis Brabant as well, I will have my Hosta collection. Not exclusively, there will be other plants in both areas, but those will be my collection plants in both garden areas. So here we go down in to the area, and you can see the brush fence that I've created already here that will last a couple of years while the Thuya occidentalis Brabant that I plant behind grow out with a little extra protection here. And it goes all the way down into this back corner and around past the aspen trees that are growing here. Lovely, tall and mature. We'll have a quick look up at those. Look how tall they are. And they'll give a lovely canopy in the whole area nearly. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. They give a lovely canopy and a lovely rustling sound in the summer. Which pertains to their scientific name. I just love these silhouettes, and this just makes the area feel so cozy and enclosed during the summer months. Look at that. So nothing gets wasted, as you can see. The brush fence is here, and they've already sunk down compared to when I first put them together, so I know they're not going to last that long, but they're absolutely perfect for now. So now I'm right in the back corner of Saunaland, and you can see our annex and our crystal cottage. So we're going to be able to put a seating area here in the back corner, and this is the view we'll have, as well as behind the boulders you can see there, my Hosta collection. And then a grassy area down here that we can keep trimmed, and I can put pots in here with hostas as well, all the way around, or as much as I wish. And at first, until I figure out whether it's going to work putting hostas in the ground due to the slugs munching them down, I might just bring all my pots around and arrange them and see what it all looks like when they're up, because these are plants that can be moved and can be planted during the summer months. Most of them won't show any signs of being moved at all, no wilting or anything. Some might slightly. So I'll bring the pots over, place them out, and then I'll get to see what they look like and if I dare to put them in the ground or if I just keep them in pots, because they get much less slug damage that way. And with this brush fence all the way around, and then the thuya bushes, this is going to be an enclosed area, and then the front will also have bushing, and I might put some kind of gate on the side as an entrance to keep it completely deer free, so that I know that I'll always be able to come out and enjoy my hostas here. Because in Yorkham's Corner the deer have never touched my hostas, and I think it's due to the position. So here, if we carry on to the edge, what I want to do today is expose the rocks I have going down at the front here to show the edging of the mound where I want to place out my hostas, and to give a clear divide so you can see where the border starts. Here I have a bush that I've been pruning back every single year since I moved into this cottage 8.5 years ago, and it looks very nice during the summer as well as a bush. So I have a bush ready to go here, and then I can plant underneath this some ferns and other plants that like a shady area, while I concentrate on the hostas over in this side over here. Or maybe I will put some hostas in amongst these in the ground. I might put some pots in the front. We'll see how it goes, but you can see the rocks I have here that I want to expose for now to give me an idea of what I'm working with. Of course, I'd love to keep the green moss growing on the fronts. It looks natural and beautiful, but I want to clear the tops off and some of the moss just so that you can see a clear divide. For now, it will grow back with time anyway. So I have a lovely big expanse here that could be used for hostas. It's actually perfect. And then being able to sit and enjoy the view of our cottage at the same time will be lovely. And over on the top side here, I do have 2 bushes that I bought, and they were lovely and green when I planted them here last summer. They grew out beautiful, new stems, lovely and green, and then we had a harsh winter with temperatures of down to minus 16 degrees Celsius, and they had a shock this first year, and the plants turned completely brown. And I am going to plot in photos here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And well, they just turned brown from top to bottom, so you can see here this is what they were looking like. So I decided to go in and pull all of the dead leaves off and leave the stems to see how much of these plants are going to refill out themselves, or how much I'm going to have to prune back to the ground to let them start off again. They were obviously kept in an environment that was protected, and the shock of the winter was too hard. But these are evergreen bushes that should be able to take these kind of temperatures. So after this second summer season, they should bounce back, and then they'll be acclimatized to the area. So that will give me an evergreen bush at the front of the area as well. And I have planted out some dropsis ferns at the bottom to fill out as well. This tree I have here is actually a mountain ash, Sorbus alciparia. Look at that, beautiful, an old tree with a very thick trunk. And then here, behind the Occidentalis Brabant, I have some Acer platanoides, the Norway maple, and they give their beautiful orange colours during the autumn season, and they have lovely leaves on them. So I'm really happy that I have different types of trees here. And I have an immature one growing here that I'm going to allow to carry on growing out here. And as you can see, the sun comes up in this area over here, the east going on to the south. But this area you can see is going to be completely shaded out, and thus a very good garden for shade-loving plants. And we have perfect area there to sit and enjoy the whole lot. So now I'm going to get on with exposing the rocks around the edge of the elevated area of my new, what will be, Hosta border. So I really hope you've enjoyed seeing how I've created this area with the brush fencing so far. Now I just want to get on excavating this area. First of all, taking off all the grass, clearing off the moss in some areas, and exposing this lovely natural rock border. And to do that, I will do this in fast forward so we can see the end result. So the first thing I'm going to do is basically just scrape away as much of the grass and the moss and the soil that is growing around the top of these rocks. Because if I want to get the effect I'm looking for, I need to see the rocky edge. That's for sure. Now I do have another wild plant that is considered a huge pest for many gardeners growing in this area, and that is Agopodium podagraria, ground elder. And I'm going to show you some leaves just so you know what I'm talking about. It'll be hard to appreciate from just this leaf right now while it's young what this plant is going to be like. But here you go, there's the leaf. That is Agopodium podagraria, the ground elder. Now this plant has a habit of taking over areas, and it's all over this area, all on this slope. I can see it growing everywhere. But when you have a wild garden, it's actually lovely because it grows out as a very good and thick ground cover. This plant can get quite tall, probably around 40 centimeters or so, maybe taller. And in the late summer, it gets stalks with lovely white flowers on it. It grows on rhizomes, it spreads everywhere. If you break it up like I'm doing now, the roots will just carry on growing as separate plants and spread even more. It's very, very difficult to get rid of this plant. So I'm lucky that I have a natural style garden where I don't mind mixing bought plants with wild plants, and I embrace them in my garden. They will look absolutely fine here. They're going to look actually wonderful, growing out and filling out this expanse here in this very shady garden area. So I'm not worried about that. When I put ferns in with their bigger fronds and their larger leaves, they will take over the height and the area anyway. But these will fill out wherever there's exposed areas, keeping it nice and green. And that's absolutely fine. I can just go in and pluck out or prune down as much as I want to keep them in check. But I think they're going to be fine here. But that is one plant that most people want to keep out of their garden, especially if you're living and you have a smaller urban garden or something like that. You probably don't want this plant because it will take over everything you have going on in there. The one good thing about it is if you have a huge amount like I do in my garden, you can use it as food. Yes, you can use the young leaves that are coming up now as salad. They are perfectly healthy and good for you to eat. You don't have to prepare them in any way, just wash them. Or you can make them into some kind of soup or anything else, a pesto or something like that. They can be used in so many ways for food that you can enjoy them as a crop, a naturally free growing crop that you don't have to do anything to cultivate or anything like that. They will just give you a free crop every single year. But now let me get on with excavating this lovely border here. So here I've actually encountered some larger tree roots that I need to get rid of. So I'm just going to get my loppers to get rid of those. And I have them here, so cut there, cut here. So this goes quick and easily, makes life easy for me. Get rid of all of these. Wait, I thought I got that end. There you go, look at that, big roots that I can just add to my brush fencing. So they're gone, and I can really see the shape starting to take form here. I'm really pleased about that. Now doing this, I've discovered that I don't just have one big long rock here at the front, I have another one behind. And it's looking more and more like a fantastic natural rockery that I want to expose everything that's here. And even if I get to keep this with the rocks exposed, with a few ferns in between there and then the rest behind, it will look fantastic with a little rock garden that is actually for the purpose of seeing the rocks as well. I am just really enjoying the discovery of all this. This is the first time in 8.5 years that I'm getting in and discovering what is in this area. And my garden doesn't stop surprising me. That is the amazing thing about it. Let me carry on with this. So the good thing about this is I've actually discovered some smaller rocks that I can actually place along the front here to carry on the outline of my border. And then I have this area in the middle here with fantastic soil that I can easily plant plants in amongst these rocks. They are really starting to show up and look amazing. So now I just want to put some of these rocks here to show where my new border is and how well it's coming along. Look at this. I am already starting to get an outline here. This is just amazing. So there you go. You can see I've already got an outline of this rockery border coming along. Most of the rocks are already there. A couple that I've excavated out, I've managed to put down here. So when I start pulling out more of the soil from between the rocks up there, I can fill out this expanse with this wonderful rich soil. My edging is coming on well. With time, I can get myself a few more rocks to finish off that edge so that you can see clearly where the entrance is. And along the front here, I will probably put some long logs, tree trunks that I've already excavated from my Crystal Woods area to outline this edge for now, until I get everything sorted out. And I do have a few rocks here in the middle, one here and one completely covered with grass down here that I want to expose so we can see them there in the middle of the garden looking really nice as if they're supposed to be there. And it will just carry on the rock designs in this little area of the garden. It is going to be so fantastic. It already looks amazing. Now I'm going to attempt to move this rock, so I need to go and get my spade to see if I can lift it. Oh, and I can. And you know what I've discovered with this rock? It's very heavy. It's got a lovely heart shape, so I'd love to put it down at the front down there and move the smaller ones up on the side here where they won't be seen as much. So basically I need to get this rolled down to the bottom there. I'm on my own. If Yorkin was here, it would be much easier, but he's not. Oh, I got it. So roll, 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 down we go. Yes, this is working out. So now, move the rocks that I've just put in place. Over here for a minute. Oh, this is always such hard work. But it is always what I call worth it in the end. Just look at that rock. Doesn't it have a heart shape? It does. I just want to get it into place. Oh, it's so heavy. It's so heavy. Oh, can it stay like that? That's fine. So now I can get some of my smaller rocks, put them back around, maybe even lift it up a little bit, just like that. And look at that, now I've got my rock border in place. Another stone that I have excavated out of the border to fill up the space. Perfect. I just need to carry on now. Look here, it's possible to move this big rock. Oh God, it's coming up. So, this rock is huge, very heavy. The only thing I really want to do with it is try and mark out a backdrop of this new rockery area. So what I'd like to do is elevate it and get it to stand up. If I can roll it some way, I'll do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait until Yorkim is here to help me, because this is massive. Look at this. It's a good job I have a metal spade, because I wouldn't be able to move this rock at all. It's an amazing rock, and if it could just stand up, it would give a really good outline. So if I can move. See, even just like that, I could just get something under it. By moving all the soil up to the front, like I'm doing here, it looks like this garden has always been like this. So now, even from your perspective now, I know that you can see that there is a clear divide here and a lovely rock wall coming. And I have the big rock that I'm trying to maneuver into a little bit of a higher position. And then I'll have a plateau down here where I can plant, and then a higher plateau at the back over there. It's just going on so well, and I've not had to go and collect any new rocks or anything. I'm just using what I have in this patch of soil here. Rocks are just exposing themselves to me, and that is what I love about my garden. Buying rocks like this to create something like this would cost an absolute fortune in weight, and also for them to be delivered here. So I am so fortunate and thankful that I can use the wonders of my own garden to create things like this. It's a blessing. That's all I can say. So this big rock, I don't know if I can try and get it to stand up at the back here. I don't know if I can lift it myself, pull it back. I'm going to try now. Oh, you're so beautiful, please. Well, I know that doing this, oh, I can't do it myself. I'm going to have patience, but I know that when Yorkim comes, I'll be able to lift that and stand that up, and then it will be amazing. But this also shows that with time, rocks, big heavy rocks, will sink down into the soil if it's soft, and they will disappear. So unless you have a solid base, with time, it will sink. So you need to keep that into consideration if you're going to want to make something with a solid foundation that will always be like it is. This is one pile of soil behind those existing rocks, and it's been like that for many, many years. So I know this will stay like this, because the rest of the garden in front is much lower anyway. But this is just going so well. Right, I'm going to try one more time. I'm determined to get this rock to stand up. I am myself. I can do this, and I've done it. Oh wow, look what I just did. I did it. It was so heavy, and it can be so clearly seen, and it's beautiful. That has just elevated. So now I can fill in that soil here around into that, and then I'll have a lovely little plateau for planting. Oh, this is just fantastic. Just so fantastic. Who knows what else I might discover in this piece of soil here. There might be more rocks to put around the back edge. I just think this is fantastic. Oh, I just love it. So I'll find some rocks to just mark out that back edge with time. I need to sort out the front edge here a little bit more on the sides with the smaller rocks that I have. So I'm going to get myself a rake and rake up some of the soil back into this bed here. So this excavation and edging is going so well. All I want to do now is rake up some of that soil back into the border here, place my thin rocks that I got from the middle here along the back edge just to mark out that side so that it's clear and discernible as a rock border that you shouldn't go in and walk on. And then I would have got a long way to being finished with this. Not completely, but a long way. This is so fantastic. I'm going to be able to have a whole Hosta festival in this area. I'll be able to fill in with a little bit more soil that I buy and mix in. And actually, Hostas are so resilient that I don't actually need to buy any new soil or anything to put in here, but I might add just a few sacks and blend it in with the soil that's there, especially as at the back it's much more sandy. And then that will be enough to keep Hostas happy in here, up on this ledge here. So I just want to get the last stones around the back on, and then the first phases of this will be complete on making most of the edging. And I need to just clip away some of the bigger roots there and in the middle as well. So now I know you can't see it at the moment, but I am just building the rest of the back wall around that side. This side, as I said, is going to have a natural flow over to a wooden tree trunk edge and carry on just with a few stones up there. You can see clear edging now. Once I brush off the big rocks up here, it's going to look amazing. And just to get a few more rocks over there to mark out that edge. So look how well this is going. I am down to my last wheelbarrow of my, look over there, there's a lovely little robbing on my white container, searching for all the insects, and on my wheelbarrow now, searching for all the insects that have been coming up under this construction time. But I am down to the last wheelbarrow of all of my pots of hostas here, and I have so many, and I think this expanse with hostas looks absolutely fantastic before the hostas even emerge. Look at all the pots. You can see how well this area is going to be covered in hostas already. And I think they're absolutely going to be fine in their pots for the first season to see how it goes, and with the wild plants. And then if I feel like it, late summer, I might come in and plant them into the soil. I really do want to just test to see how bad the slug damage might be first. So right, I want to get those last pots of hostas in along the edge of my border here. And I might even space out some of those even more down here so that I get the expanse of hostas all the way down. And then it really will look like a hosta collection garden if it goes all the way around. So the last ones, and I even had an extra empty container. So this extra empty container, this is a taller one, so it's going to have to go at the back. So I can take that pot that's there and put that as one of the ones that I'm going to put down on the side. So I'll put that there until I get a hosta to put in it. And then I can move this one here to the position of this one and move this one down to the edge. So here we go. I'll place one here. Or actually, I need to make a space and put that here. One here. And then a couple more here. One here. This just shows me I have more space to get myself more pots of hostas. If I see any spaces anywhere, it'll just encourage me to want to collect more and more and more. And I love these plants so much that I will be anyway. So one by the tree here, and then another couple to put further down. You're not going to be able to see me because I'm going to go off camera a little bit here, but I'll be showing you everything close up afterwards anyway. I have 32 pots of hosta in front of me, 33 with the empty one that's going to have one in it very, very soon, I'm sure. And you can see how this is going to be a beautiful hosta paradise. You can just see it just with the pots. You can imagine when all the leaves have come out and they're kind of merging together and all of the different colors and variegations and tones. This is going to be amazing. What I'll do down around the back of the bush down there is I will plant out various ferns, because that will fill out that corner then, and then I'll just concentrate on the hostas being down here and along the edge of the garden down there. This is just looking fantastic. I might have to even extend so that I put this same lovely white border along that side of sauna land, because then I'll be able to also put pots along that edge, knowing that I have the space in the middle for us to sit, and then the rest is just going to be a hive of hostas. I'm in paradise right now. So now the next thing I want to get on with doing is clearing out this rock so we can actually see there's a flat rock here and a rock here. And I'm not sure if we can move this rock here. It would be quite nice to put it more onto the edge, but otherwise it will be a fine feature there. So I'll get this tidied up, because then we can see that we have a little plateau to be able to put things on during the summertime if we wish. But this is really starting to come together and give that idea of elevation and how fantastically easy it's been for me to be able to create a hosta garden. And because I have such a big collection, I really didn't realize I had 34 pots now here. So now I'm going to get on with excavating all the dirt and the grass off this rock to see what a beautiful rock we have underneath. Because it looks, yes, look at it, it looks amazing. It's an amazing rock. I want to be able to see this as a centerpiece. This is going to be absolutely gorgeous. If I can just get this grass up quick and easy. So it's peeling away like a carpet. Look at this, like turf. But, and look what it's revealing. This most beautiful rock. Look at this. Wow. Look at that. Oh, I love it. The only thing again here for causing me a problem is a big tree root that I need to cut. And this turf can just basically be used to fill in any gaps that are going on in the area. So that's perfect too. Wow, this turf broke away, and I have a big hole here, so I can just place that on the ground perfectly in that hole to level out straight away. Just look at the size of this rock that is emerging here. And it couldn't be better as a centerpiece. So now I just need to pull this soil out, spread it further away from the rock, level out this ground. Again, amazing soil here. Absolutely amazing soil. But it can be taken away from the rock area to make sure the rock plenty of exposure. So now I just want to dust off this rock so we can see it clearly. This is just gorgeous. Look at this. Hiding there for years and years. 8.5 years of having this cottage. And this rock has never seen the light of day. And now it has the chance to shine. And it even has a big lump of quartz crystal in it. And that is something I've also found in my rock over here, quartz crystal streaks. That's another reason why our cottage here is called Crystal Cottage. Our granite rocks are full of quartz crystal, and it's just amazing when a rock surface is like this and you get to see its beauty. Oh, I shall keep this spotless, this rock, for when we come and sit out here, because it's just amazing. I actually think these rocks are such a beautiful centerpiece that I want to wash them off a little bit. So when I show you closer, you can really appreciate their beauty more. Until the hose is back on, when we're sure there's no frost coming, I'll have my hose back on and be able to get out and hose this off with the hard hose, and then reveal these rocks perfectly. This one even has a bird bath in it. Oh, that's so perfect. So while I'm waiting for Joachim to come and help me with the rest of the logs on the other side here, I just went and got the bench from Joachim's corner. So basically I'm excavating everything from there, our bench, all the hostas, and placing it here in this back corner so that this is where we can sit. Oh, this is perfect. And it's sinking so it holds steady. And look at this. I have a perfect seating area to sit and enjoy the arrangement of rocks in the middle, the rockery and all of the hostas, and then our crystal cottage and our annex, and then all the trees and everything. And I can sort this out so nothing gets in my head afterwards. And then I'll be able to see all the hosta arrangement along here and along here. Oh, it's going to be such a cozy corner. This is really going to change so dramatically during the summer months. And it's so protected from all sides. It's just so cozy. I can't wait until we have the evergreen bush all the way around. Oh. So, come on Joachim, I need your help now to finish the other side of the border here so that I can finish this video today. So here we come with the next long piece to mark out this side. So I just need to get on the other side, get this to the corner, place that in. And there we have it, the whole outline ready. Now I can put the bench in place. Oh, I need to move one of my hostas because that's not going to do behind the bench. It needs to be here. So we can have hosta pots all the way around. And then we'll have our seating area, but we'll at some point have two lovely chairs where we can have footrests and a table. But for now, this is just to give the idea of it all. You can see the outline, you can see there are going to be hostas all the way around, up onto the rockery, a lovely display rock in the middle. Couldn't be better. When this all greens out, it's going to look like a different story. So this is the initial phases of creating my sauna land garden, and I just think it's beautiful. And all I'm going to have to do is keep this little bit of grass trimmed in here, and then everything else around the edge is going to be allowed to grow wild around all of the hosta pots, and then it's just going to be fabulous. And I can't wait to get the wintergreen Thuja occidentalis Brabant all the way around, and I'm going to buy them already 2 meters tall, so I get the effect straight away around the edge. And I've put this brush around that will protect them from the deer that come and munch on them. And then the open area over here, I would actually like to plant one Thuja there next to that tree, or a pot with a Thuja there, just to close off the gap a bit. And then I should get some kind of gate put on here, or barrier at least, to stop the deer from coming in and thinking, oh, this is a lovely buffet for them to eat. In this position, they could come in and eat them more than where they were before, because they always wander through this part of the garden. But I have made a little fence and I have my evergreens there. I could redo that fence and make it a bit higher and then have a little barrier there. So it should be absolutely safe, because the rest is completely closed in. And I'm just loving this already. I just can't wait for these guys to come out now. Oh, they're going to look amazing all over here. You can see the slope down and then the drop. It's just going to be fantastic. And it's so good that during the winter time, I'm going to have my evergreen bushes at the front, so that when I look out of my cottage, I'll just see an evergreen hedge in front of this area all winter, when all of this dies down and just looks like this when you can't really see anything. And then during the summer, we'll be able to come in here and we'll see a hive of colour all over. So let me take you in now for a quick closer look of everything. So once again, let's go in through Bonfire Garden here and our fire pit towards Saunaland, and how it's looking now with the completion of the edging and placing out all of the hosta plants that I have so far in pots. So you can see all the way down to the bench, lovely white edging, and space for so many more pots of hostas. So they're spread out right now, but I'm going to be having them bumper to bumper at some point, and I'm looking forward to collecting so many more. And then here, the edge here, and all of the hosta pots that go up here. This front edge, I will be planting out evergreen plants so that we don't see through into all these pots during the winter months. But the edging with these rocks is beautiful as well. Look at them. Can you believe I found all of these here and placed them in? And down here, when I get time to clean up, this edging here is full of quartz crystal. You can see the streaks. I just need to get the hose out, scrub it down, and it will all shine through. But this rock looks beautiful as it is. And then here, the edging and the backdrop with all of these pots of hostas that will be out in just a couple of months. Down here, the centerpiece of rock. Look how beautiful that piece of granite is. And then here, the rock that has a little bird bath or watering hole. I think that is just fantastic. Can you believe these have been hiding in my garden for 8.5 years? And now they've become amazing features in their own right. So our bench in the back corner, as I said, we'll be changing this up, so this is just for now. And we'll probably sit here now later and have a couple of drinks and admire all the work. So I just want to show you the rock in the middle, all of the edging, the brush fencing, the Thujas at the back there that are going to be all the way around at some point, and then the rockery. So when I sit here, as you can see, I'm sitting here. This is the view that we're going to have with the rock and the hostas, the rockery, our crystal cottage and the annex. Make sure you tune in for part 2 of this video, because it's going to change so much, so dramatically compared to this video. But you've always got to start somewhere. And the winter months and early spring is the best time to do things like this before everything starts growing out. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing this first phase of the production of my Saunaland garden. And already in a couple of hours, under one day, I've got the foundation laid out. And I'm so pleased with it. So you're going to have to remember to come back and see the next video that I make in a couple of months when all the hostas have their leaves and all of the trees have their leaves, and how cozy it is in here as the second phase of all this, because this will still be without the evergreen bush around the edge and so forth, but it will be the second phase, and you will get to see how fabulous this all is and why it was worth making this adjustment here. So all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching this video. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.